Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you to the NRS C-Store Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Jaime, and as you know, we are trying to help you with all of your business and professional needs. And so we bring you the information and the resources that can seem to help you along and next level. We talk about a variety of different things here on the show and on the C-Store Insider Podcast, C-Store Insider Podcast. We got a very special guest, two of them to bring to you today. Number one, we got Christopher Montoya, who is the National EBT Manager. And then we've got Michael Fromm, who's the Manager of Government Relations. And they're going to help us to understand something about EBT and eWIC. And good to have you both here with us. And I'll talk first of all and ask the question about if I'm a grocery store and a C-store manager, talk to me about why are these programs so valuable?
Thank you for having us. Well, definitely, for example, for EBT and for eWIC, the store owners like to help their community a lot, and this is part of how they can help the community by accepting the right type of card that they need. Some of these users, they don't have any other card. They don't have a debit card. They don't have a credit card. They don't have cash. They're probably going through a hard time at that moment, and that's where they're going through, using these payment methods. And it doesn't hurt the merchant that he's also increasing his sales by around 30% every month.
It doesn't hurt. And when you talk about EBT, that's your specialty. I want to talk about eWIC for a moment. And what is the difference between EBT and eWIC? A lot of people ask questions about what's the difference. They sound the same, but they definitely are different.
So for EBT, it allows you pretty much get a card that allows you to buy any staple food at the store. So staple foods being produce, dairy, grains, any type of protein, versus eWIC, which allows you to buy certain things. They're specified in their handbook. Whenever you apply for eWIC as a user, it tells you, for example, you could buy every time you go to the store, you could buy $7.17 of vegetables, for example. You could buy square cheeses, but it could only be certain brands. And if you buy eggs, it has to be the store brand eggs. It can't be like a certain brand, or it can't be organic, or this cage free, or this different types of eggs. It has to be very specific to what the eWIC user signed up for.
And give me a little bit, Michael, about eWIC. Who's eligible for eWIC and how can they take advantage of it?
So the implication of the program, that it's right in the name, WIC, women, infant, and children. The entire point of the program is to give to households that have these people, to give them very specific staple foods like whole wheat bread, fruits and vegetables, types of cereals and yogurts, really anything that they might need to maintain a healthy lifestyle and also maintain a healthy lifestyle for their children.
And for someone who wants to get set up with eWIC, Michael, tell me, how does a person do that?
So every single state has a different WIC, I guess you could say, organization. They all run a little bit differently, but for the most part, the program is in all 50 states. What you would have to do is contact the WIC organization for your state, and they will make sure that you meet all of the requirements in your store. There's certain types of foods that you have to sell, and you have to stock a certain quantity. Your store may maybe be even a certain size. And once you're signed up, they will provide you a WIC ID, and that identifies you as an eligible store, and people can start coming in and checking out over there.
For eWIC, you have to go to like a class. So it's different than EBT. EBT, you just have to meet certain qualifications, and you don't have to go to any class. You just get a store visit by a contractor from the USDA. Versus eWIC, you normally have to go to attend a class sometimes in order to get approved, and you have to have a prior EBT application. So if you have a store that accepts eWIC, or if you want to accept eWIC at your store, you must first, in almost all of the states, you have to have an EBT license already.
So if I have a POS, how do I facilitate being able to accept the eWIC and EBT?
So right now for eWIC, and Michael can correct me if I'm wrong, we are only accepting it in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. I think, oh, North Carolina too.
No, we opened up the processors. We're in about 20 or so states, because every state runs the organization differently, but we're very, very close to running nationwide. We're completely open to having stores apply. So as soon as we're ready to sign them up, then we'll be ready to go. But the requirements for each store in each state vary a little bit. Sometimes they're pretty specific, but in terms of signing up, we provide them a training, and we provide the software, teach them exactly how to use it, and even going to the point of explaining when the state comes into the store on location to see if they're competent in the software. The people who work at the store will help them, tell them exactly what to expect. So when certification comes around, it's called an L3 certification for the store. They'll be completely ready to go and get certified first time, straight off the bat.
Good stuff there. Good stuff there. I want to know some more information when we talk about things like the NRS double pay. And so when we talk about the double play system, double play unlimited, EBT and eWIC, give me a little understanding is how does the NRS double play unlimited EBT and eWIC system work out?
So it's just that simple. It's unlimited. So normally, um, most processors that accept EBT and accept eWIC, what they do is every time you get a card, you swipe it, they charge you a fee. So if, for example, let's say I go to I go to Darren's Deli and I swipe my EBT card. Oh, it's declined. The merchant has to pay 15, 20, 25 cents for that transaction. Even though the merchant didn't really sell anything, they're charging for that transaction because there was a communication. Let's say I went and I bought, I even asked for EBT. You have to ask the merchants, hey, I want to see how much my balance is. You swipe the card, the merchant didn't sell anything. You could literally just walk out of the store and they give you your balance. They printed out a receipt. For the merchant, they lost, the receipt paper that they used. They lost the transaction. They lost their time and they didn't make a sale. Versus with us, they could swipe as many EBT cards or as many eWIC cards, and you just pay $59.95 per month. So some of these stores are accepting, let's say 1,000 cards a month. If they're paying 25 cents per transaction, that's a lot of money. Versus with us, it doesn't matter if they're accepting 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 300. We have stores that accept 5,000 transactions. They all pay the same amount of money.
So price and zero transaction fees are the thing that people need to pay attention to. I want to take a moment and just talk a little bit about the point of sale. And when we talk about the point of sale system, why is it important for maintaining EBT and eWIC?
Our POS system differentiates. So there's two ways to accept eWIC and EBT. Normally, you have the POS, which is what we offer, and then you have a standalone unit. That's what people have been using. So the standalone leads to a lot of human error. So it allows a merchant, for example, if I go to a store and I want to buy cigarettes, a broom, cheese, and a banana, I go and I give my card to the merchant. They swipe the card, the EBT card, on the standalone unit, and if they weren't paying attention, they just sold me cigarettes, a broom, and a banana, and what was the other thing? I forgot. But they just sold me all of this on EBT, and it's illegal. You're not supposed to sell cigarettes on EBT. Versus whenever they do it on our POS, you swipe the EBT card, it's gonna take out the banana and the other food item, and it's gonna ask the user that they have to pay for the cigarettes and for the broom with another payment method. So it takes out this human error that might happen when you don't have a POS system. So that's why it's important. And the same thing with eWIC, it takes out what they can't buy with that card, and it asks the user to pay with a different method.
Mike, I want to ask you about eWIC. How does the store go about getting certified for eWIC if they don't know how? Give them some details.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, every single state has a different WIC agency because it goes on a state level, even though it's a nationwide program. So what we would generally do, excuse me, What we would generally do is if I hear of a store that's interested and they're not certified yet, I'll point them toward their local or their state WIC agency, send an email, and see what the requirements are. And if they're interested and they do meet all of those requirements, then we get them signed up. And once they have that WIC ID number, as I said, which means that they're certified with the state, they come back to us and we get them signed up as quickly as possible, get them processing.
And on the EBT side, give me a little information there.
So for the EBT side, if they already have a license, well, we just load it up into our system and get it up and running. If they don't have a license, then we have a special team that specializes in helping you with the process. We go with, we've done, I think last year we helped about close to 1,000 people apply for EBT for their stores. So we go through the whole process. We collect their information, we send it to the state. If the state has any questions, they call us. We answer the questions. We've been doing this. Well, I've been doing this for about nine years, so I know exactly which way to go around to help you get you approved for your store. And I train our team to do the same. So we usually, it's not, how do I put it? It's not our decision to make when you're gonna get approved. And sometimes it could take as little as 5 days to get you approved. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 months, but it's not us, it's the government, depending on where they're at, I just recently found out that, for example, for New York, since there's, a lot of, let's say, fraud, when it comes to EBT, all stores have to go through it takes them longer to get approved because they have to get affidavits and a lot of other information, and then they're backed up. But yeah, it's not our decision to make when you're going to get approved, but we definitely, if you apply with us, you'll be in the best hands.
Michael, I want to thank you so much for being with us. Michael Fromm, who is also the government relations manager. And then we got Christopher Montoya, national EBT manager, talking about eWIC and then also EBT. Hopefully you got a little more insight into how this process works. If you're a grocery store, a way to check us out on the C-Store Insider Podcast. We give you all the information that is with resources and information that can help your business and your organization to be able to grow better. And I want to thank you both for being with us here today on the C-Store Insider Podcast. Now, if somebody wants to reach you guys, how do they go about doing that?
You go to our website, nrsplus.com. You can go to nrsebt.com. And Michael, what is the website for eWIC?
nrsplus.com/eWIC, and there are a lot of different ways to get in touch. There's a specific phone number there, as well as a form you can fill out your information, and we'll have somebody contact you as soon as we can.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being with us. And then Michael Fromm, and then also we've got Christopher Montoya being with us here today talking about EBT, eWIC, and hopefully got some information. Listen, that's why we want you to stay connected to the C-Store Insider Podcast, where we give you the relevant tools, the resources, and we bring you the information that you need to know and hopefully answer some questions to make your business run and go more effectively with NRS Pay. Listen, we'll talk to you later on. I'm Darren Jaime, the host. We'll catch you on the next podcast, and we'll see you real soon.